Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to demo the groups feature for Ning 3.0. I am Allison Leahy. I'm the community manager at Ning. Many of you have probably seen me around creators. And I'm here with Juana, our community advocate extraordinaire, who will actually be doing a deep dive into the feature itself. To give you a bit of background, groups are an effective way of creating spaces in your community for more targeted conversations. Members can self-organize around shared geography, languages, passions, activities, professions, and more. Groups also offer an ideal solution for private team collaboration, organizing information, and developing stronger member relationships. They're also great for premium membership, sponsorships, targeted advertising, and other creative monetization strategies. And for groups on Ning 3.0, we've really supercharged the groups feature. They're much more like mini communities within your community and can include multiple instances of all the features you're already familiar with, like forums, blogs, photos, and custom pages. Group admins can be granted limited, advanced, or complete control over the layout, description, and privacy settings. And members can be automatically assigned to groups based on their responses to profile questions during sign up. There are a bunch of other great hidden features in groups that we're going to expose to you today through this demo. So I'm really glad you're taking the time out of your day to be with us. I'll pass it over to Juana so she can show you all the wonder that is groups for Ning 3.0.
All right, thank you, Allison, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I want to thank everyone again for joining us today. So probably the most exciting thing about groups is, as Allison mentioned, is the ability for all these groups to operate as a full featured network, or pretty much what we like to call a super group. And you can add, as she also mentioned, multiple instances of features like blogs, forums, and photos. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and show you how to enable the Groups Hub on your network. And you'll want to head over to your Site and Pages located on your dashboard button here to get that started. All right, so we want to go ahead and add a new page to our main navigation. And this page type is going to be a group hub. Now you can give your group hub a title, and since we have a indoor music festivals network here, I'm going to go ahead and just title it IMF to stand for that, groups. And you can also choose to have your tab open in a new window, how you can for all other navigations for your tabs. And you can also customize the URL for it, but I like the way that looks, so I'll go ahead and keep it as IMF groups. What's cool here is that you can also select who can add groups on your network. Right now it defaults to administrators, but you can also have admins, featured members, all members on your network, or even a specific member category that you may have already set up on your network. So we'll go ahead and keep it as admins. The next thing you can select is who can view the group's hub page. So each group will have its own privacy setting, but this will be the default that will apply to all the groups that are created on your network, and it'll also apply to the group's hub page that we're creating right now. So we'll go ahead and keep that public so we can let everybody view the group hub. And the next thing we want to select here is what different things that the group admins can do. So we can have them add and delete group pages, message group members, and upload cover photos. So if you want to give them full control, you want to probably select all three of those. The next thing is the group layout controls. So we've given you three different types of layout controls here: a basic, an advanced, and a complete. For the basic layout control, basically group admins can add and remove group content modules in the group pages, but then they can't change the layouts and they can't modify non-group content modules. So any of the content that's added to the group page will also appear on the group page, so that's good to keep in mind. If you choose the advanced option, the group admins can then choose alternate layouts for group pages, and they can add and remove group content modules. and then the content that they add to the group hub won't appear on group pages. And if you give complete layout control, your admins will be able to choose alternate layouts for the pages. They can add and remove group content modules, and they can update the below header and the above footer HTML boxes on the group pages. And then the content that they add to the group hub will also not appear on group pages. So that's pretty neat. Next, we want to probably add some group categories. Adding group categories is a really great way to organize your groups, and it makes it really easy for members to find your groups based on an interest. So, for example, like a classroom that you have set up or a music genre, as is the case with the groups that I'm creating here. So I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of group categories. Country music, hip-hop music, indie, new age, and rock. I think that looks good. All right, so next we'll want to set up the layout, and the layout is what we'd like for this page to kind of look like, similar to the other pages that you have on your network. And we can just customize in the same way. So for mine, I think I want to do a 2-column layout, and I'll go ahead and add some content to it. And let's do a festival photos or something fun like that. You can add that, maybe add a little more content, maybe a blog. That sounds good. Featured events blog. Let's do that. So as you notice, you'll also have a space in the layout controls here where you can have sponsored content or run ads. So you have a below header HTML box where you can add HTML code to your site. And you can also run ads. So each group will also have this ability, as I'll show you guys later, and you can control the ad code yourself, or you can give group admins the ability to also run their own advertising, which is kind of cool. One thing to note that you won't notice here is that we are going to be adding RSS feeds for the features within the group, but that's not yet available. And so far, we're not planning on having the group activity feed in the short term as well. So now that we have created our group hub page, I want to save that, and we can go ahead and check it out. So we can go to our newly created groups hub page here. And as you guys can see, I've already created a few groups on the network before I removed the groups hub, so you can see what those look like now. And these are based on music genre categories in a few states, and that's what I decided to make my groups on. So I want to go ahead and add a new group for my members and customize it a bit. So to do that, you want to click on this plus button icon here. And I'm going to create a new group for indie fans of Kansas City. So there we go. And give it a little description in the About section. So I'm basically just wrote up a little blurb about my group. Since it's focused on independent music scene of the Kansas City area, I want it to be a good resource for musical artists and bands and things like that. Since I'm a group admin, I can also add HTML to this group description, and this would be also helpful if you wanted to add something like a group chat or a group intro video, a group calendar, if you wanted to promote an event that you're having in relation to the group, or if you wanted to add a widget or something like that to the group. So that's pretty cool. You can also edit the group address if you'd like and make it something totally different, or you can keep it as the default that pops up when you enter the group name. You can also choose what you'd like the members of the group to be called. So I'm going to call them indie fans because I think that sounds better. And next I can choose what category, the ones that I set up in my group hub page. So it makes sense for this to be in the indie category. So I'm going to choose that. So below this, you'll also have the option to change the admin permissions. So we set up some of the permissions as default when we created the group hub, but we can go ahead and overwrite those changes that we established. And when you click on that, you'll see that you can, if you originally had it so that members, admins can upload cover photos, you can remove that option. But since we selected it all, you'll see that there. And then you can also overwrite the layout controls that we originally created as well. So we'll leave it the way that is and work on some of this stuff. So the next thing you can do is add a group image. So we'll add a cool group image here and a cover photo for my group. And I think that looks pretty nice. Lastly, I also want to select who can join the network. So I think I want just anybody to join it because I want it to be an open group. So I'll go ahead and leave it with that default one selected. And if you wanted to allow group members to send invitations to one another, you can also select this checkbox here. So lastly, I just create the group by clicking the button at the bottom here. And you will just see the group that we just created. Very cool. All right, so now that I've created my group, I want to start adding some content and some more features to really make it a lively spot for members to start getting engaged. So I'll want to probably add some more pages to my group. So I'll head over to the group options button here in the upper right corner and select the Manage Pages option. So this is actually very similar to what you guys will see in the Site and Pages layout controls on your dashboard. So here you can select which of the pages that are default for your group will be the home page. So right now your home page has an About and Join section, a forum, and new photos. And we can change the title of the home page if you'd like for the group. And you can also kind of just rearrange the layout of the tabs that will appear on the group homepage. You can arrange the layout of the tabs here just by clicking and dragging them. And for each of these pages, you can also add content to them. So as you can see, you can add an HTML page, more members pages, photos, forum pages, all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. You can also add more pages here. And one thing that's not included by default is a blog page. So if you wanted to add a new blog page, you can do that. So that's pretty cool too. So let's go ahead and add some photos, make the photos tab look a little better here. The cool thing also just to note is that for each of these tabs, you can also select who can contribute to them. So either the group admins or all the group members, again, who can view these tabs, only people that are members of the group, anyone, group admins, things like that. And you can select if you wanted comments or not on the page. And you can also add photo categories here. So let's go ahead and add some categories like Southern rock bands if we wanted to put some photos in for that, or jam bands, honky tonk bands. So we can also add more content like I showed you guys before to any of these pages that you create. The cool thing about adding something like a HTML page or a custom page is that you can also, again, add third-party chat widgets, a custom calendar embed or something on there, which is pretty cool. So go ahead and save that. And let's go ahead and publish a blog page as well, just so we have that. All right, so for the blog page, I'm going to give it a title, and I think we'll do something like indie blogs here. I like the way that looks. And we'll also choose which members can contribute to the blog. So we'll have group members contributing here. And then we'll allow just group members to view the blog. And I'll go ahead and allow regular standard comments here. And I can add more blog categories here as well. So we'll make this blog dedicated to Western bands in Kansas City. All right. So when I'm done adding this page and the other pages I'd like to the content of my group, I'll just go ahead and click Save and head back to my group home page. And now you can pretty much start adding content to any of the group pages that you added. So for example, if you wanted to add a new forum discussion, head over to the forum tab, and you'd want to click on the plus icon here in the right corner. And you can start adding discussions here. So likewise, you can add photos to your network here, and also more blog posts about the Western bands that we created from the blog tab as well. So all of these will have this plus icon here in the upper right corner. So let's go ahead and add some fun photos, since that always makes things a little lively on your network. So you can give your newly uploaded photos some great names. You know, this one could be your Dixieland band photo. This is downtown KC. And we've got KC after dark here. So you can also choose which category you'd want to put these in, and we'll just put in honky tonk bands. All right, now that we've added some photos, we can head back to the home page, and the next thing we want to do is start inviting members to this group. So I want to show you how you can invite members to your group. You'll want to head over to the group's options button once again, and you can select the invite button. So from here, you can invite members on your network simply by adding their email addresses in this field here and start typing, or you can start typing their name if they're your friends on the network. So I've got a couple people here I want to invite. And it'll fill it in for you. And then we can add an optional message if we'd like check out my new group. And press OK to send those invites. All right, that was pretty easy. Alternately, you can also add members to your network, to the group that you created on your network. There's a couple ways you can do this. The first is by using the members management panel on your dashboard, and the other is through the profile questions page, and I'll show you how both of those work. So go ahead and head over to the members page and the member management panel on your dashboard. And as you guys know, this page lists your network's members' email addresses. So if you're not really sure of a member's exact name or an address on your network, you can also use the search bar here to find them. If you know their email address, it's even better that way. You can type the full email address in the search field here. So there's a couple people, if I want to invite them, all you have to do is select their name. So we'll select a bunch of people here. And then from the Select an Action drop-down menu, you'll see that the groups that we created all show up here. So to add them to the Indie Fans of Kansas City group, just select that and press OK to confirm that. And it's as easy as that. And now all those members I just selected are now part of that group. So that's pretty cool. Another way that you can add members to a group automatically is to set up profile questions. and head over here so I can show you what that looks like. When you set up the profile questions, they'll automatically filter new members into a group based on their responses to a certain question that you set up. So if the question is multiple choice, which is the case, the one that I created here, which is, what genre do you like of music? And I gave people several choices here based on the groups that I'm planning on creating. And you'll automatically see this option here that allows you to check it, and it says assign members to a category based on their answer, and then also assign members to a group based on their answer on sign up. So they'll be automatically assigned to a specific group based on their answer. So if they choose indie, now that we created this group, we're going to want to say send them to the Indie Fans of Kansas City group. And just want to save those changes. And now when new members join your network, they're going to be added to any of those groups that you just set up. So that's pretty cool. So once you have members that have joined your group, you can now start managing your members. We'll head over to the Groups Hub page and head over to the group we just created. So as the group creator, or if you're a group admin, you can promote, suspend, or remove members that have joined your network. So you can promote group members to admins as well, and that will help you basically manage your group. You'll want to go ahead and select Manage Members from the Group Options menu here. So if you wanted to promote a member to an admin status, you'll want to locate which one it is that you'd like to promote here, and then check the box next to their name, and then from the Select an Action drop-down menu, choose Promote to Administrator, and that's all you have to do. And then if you wanted to, you made a mistake and you wanted to undo that, all you'd have to do is find the admin that you just promoted and demote from administrator from the drop-down menu. If you wanted to suspend a member from the group, you also just want to locate them in the list here, and then you'll want to check that box next to their name, and then from the drop-down menu, select Suspend from Group. And you'll notice that they no longer appear in the list there. You can also check out which members you've suspended by selecting that option here. And you'll see Tashina in here. And if you wanted to go ahead and reinstate her, very easy to do that as well. So that's pretty cool. From this page, you can also have the option to send a broadcast message to your members. And you just do that by clicking the Message All Members button up here. You can send them a message like, welcome to my group, and add, a cool video or a brief description of what your group is about, and, send it out. That's pretty easy. From the Group Options drop-down menu, you can also feature the group very easily from here. Featuring a group is a good way to promote it or to highlight its content, things like that. And if you wanted to leave a group and you were a member of the group, you can also have that option to leave the group that you created right here. So lastly, I kind of just want to demo what the new moving content option looks like. You can now move content from either a group to a group, or you can move it from elsewhere on your network. Network admins can move pieces of content from within the group into another group as well, or into a page that's the same content type anywhere else on your network. So when you move a piece of content, one thing to keep in mind is that it'll keep all the comments that you have for that content item intact. So that means that even if you have some commenters on there that have commented, they may no longer have access to the post, the original post. So we'll go ahead and head back to the group home so I can show you what moving content looks like. And you'll notice this on the forum, photos, and the blog instances. You'll notice that there will be a new published in section when you edit that content item. And right here is where it is at the bottom here. So this photo was published in the photos feature for the Indie Fans of Kansas City group. And all you have to do to move this is select the move button here. So both the group creator and the admins can move this if you've allowed them to. And you'll see this pop-up dialog that lists the places where you can move the content to. If it's applicable, you can move it to another group that you created, or you can move it to another photos page that you created. So if we wanted to move it and we thought this photo might be better off in the festival photos section, it'll give us a little warning here that tells us that this location doesn't support standard comments, so they'll be hidden after we move it. And if you're okay with that, you can click OK. So if you do select an area to move the content to, that means that you might lose your comments. So like something like going from a native to a Facebook or a Discus, or from Facebook Discus to a native comment setting. And we'll definitely always let you know with the warning message if that location doesn't support standard comments. So once you've moved the content, clicked OK here, the screen will then return you back to the edit page. And we've already updated the published in part, so now you'll see that it says festival photos here. And the new location is where your photo is now located. The categories and the URL and all that stuff have also been updated to reflect the change, so it's pretty easy. So likewise, if you had a forum that you wanted to change, you'll also see the same thing there. So I know that I created a forum post here that I want to move somewhere else, and we just want to go to the edit button here. And if we wanted to move this discussion over, just click on the move button here. And we can move this over to the general music forum. And again, they'll let you know that the author of the item won't be able to edit it at the new location, and members that are following the item will automatically be unsubscribed because there's different permissions for it in the new location. And as long as you're okay with that, you can click OK. So that was pretty much a deep dive of how groups works and the different features available